all around. I prophesy peace all around. I declare peace all around. All around I see peace. All around I see peace. In Nigeria I see peace. All around I see peace.
Welcome, viewers, and good to have you on yet another interesting episode of your program, The Wodi Talk Show. The Wodi Talk Show is a production of the Women of Divine Destiny Initiative, Wodi, and it is coming to you live from the studios of Wodi in the Federal Capital Territory. Today, like always, is another opportunity for us to discuss on an interesting program, an interesting topic that touches on the heart of every Nigerian and every well-meaning person. Today, we are here with a brand of discussants that cut across Nigeria as a whole. We have people from the north, from the east, and from the West. And this is because of the point we are discussing this day, that we have decided to choose on this variety to make it a complete episode. Like I said, it is a program that touches on an important issue in our country today, in our polity. And the topic on the discussion table is unity in our diversity. And that is why we have today gentlemen and ladies of note, people that have distinguished themselves, people with great mileage, and of course, people with eloquence to talk on this important issue. I have today, right, to discuss this issue. On my right is a very eloquent person I've worked with before. I call him the fire-splitting comrade because of his eloquence. Comrade Haruna Braimo. He is Director of Media Advocacy for Good Governance Network West Africa. Welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Also next to him is a gentleman, and from what you can see, right there on his head is a typical identity that he is representing the Southeast. This is Prince Igwe Ude Umanta. He is a political analyst. Welcome to the show, sir.
Nice to be here.
Right there, next to him, dressed in very beautiful regalia, depicting the northern culture, is Hajara Bawa, also a political analyst.
Wanted to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Queen Zara Onyinye may have put in a dress code that is mixed up, and I cannot really point to her, but I know that she's Igbo, and she is here today with us to discuss this very important topic. Her name is Queen Zara Onyinye. She is also a political analyst.
It's my pleasure to be here.
The gentleman brimming from ear to ear on that side with his cap, depicting the northern culture, is a political affairs analyst. He is by name Cham Falia Sharon. Welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure.
And we have here a gentleman, a legal practitioner by practice, by right. They call themselves the learned profession. We have today a gentleman by name Abdullah Omoloye. Welcome to the show, sir.
The pleasure is mine. Thanks.
I am your anchor person. My name is Fidelis Stephen Dalio, and we shall be doing justice to this topic, which is unity in our diversity. To set the ball rolling, let me start from my right, my very near right. Comrade, what, in your opinion, is unity?
Unity is simply putting things together, coming together, togetherness. That's unity. If we take it by extension to the diversity, it becomes a concept of how you marry what you put together with varieties. Diversity means varieties. But as far as the Nigeria equation is concerned, we are talking of how do we marry fragmentation, which is the varieties. We are marrying varieties without being fragmented, and we are united without uniformity, not touching our uniform identity. The identity remains in our uniformity, united in uniformity, diversify without fragmentation. We are not fragmented, all the varieties are intact, but we are marrying all this together. That is the concept of unity in diversity.
Thank you very much. Onyinye, do you want to throw more light on this?
Of course I do.
What is unity? In your opinion?
Unity is coming together. Ability to marry every aspect of our diversification and build it into one and make it great. And if we bring Nigeria context into this, we have seen that we have different tribes in every region of the country. And each tribe comes with its uniqueness. Each tribe comes with its beauty. And Nigeria as a country has been able to marry all of this together. And that's why we have Nigeria as a country. And the beauty is there for everyone to identify. That is the beauty, and it's beauty in love.
That is the beauty of unity. My learned gentleman, Abdullah, how would you describe diversity?
Well, I will look at diversity from the points where you have different distinct components of people with different culture, very rich, people with different food, different tongue. You understand? So diversity means there are different components who are distinct. They are more or less, they are independent, sort of, and they can be identified by whatever their identity in terms of culture, tongue, food, lifestyle. So that's the simplistic way of just looking at diversity.
Thank you very much. Kaja Hajara, you want to put your thoughts on this?
Diversity, I understand, is different kind of people from different places that's in our culture. Different culture, different languages, different ways of life. That's diversity in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Now, the question now is there a line, is there a connection, Mr. Chan, is there a connection between unity, or should there be a connection between unity and diversity?
Of course, there should be a connection, and the connection has even been divinely ordained. We are talking of diversity in terms of people of diverse cultures living in the same polity, right? From the word go, God created us in His image and likeness. And over time, He made the people He created in His image and likeness to have different languages, different cultures, so that they can come together and test their level of affection, admiration for each other. For example, if I am inclined only towards the people of my own culture or tribe, then how am I demonstrating to God that I love the other people He has created in His image and likeness? So, to test our level of love and affection, and to test our obedience to God's injunction for us to love one another, God chose to bring this diversity so that we can relate together effectively. And He is there, right there, watching over us, seeing how we are really obeying His dictate of loving each other. So that's the connection between diversity and unity. You can't separate them. Once there is a separation, there's problem.
I'm tempted to call you His Royal Highness because of the
it won't be far from it. Let's just say, just to draw from what you say, we don't have a choice. The only person that is not a variant of myself is me. Not even my siblings. When people marry, they are different people, but they are stuck there. So ordinarily, diversity, people are naturally, like you say, God ordained us to be a variety. That's another way of talking about diversity. Inside it, we must stitch together because we must. Look at these fingers, they are different, but they have to cooperate. It's not exactly even how my left hand functions that my right hand functions, but they have to come together. So that is it. So we must. That is why the phrases of our motto, Nigerian motto, said that our motto is unity and faith. And you know why it's unity and faith? You won't have faith in the country if you are not united. Everybody is after all, it's not my business. And look at the other one, peace and progress. Because if there is no unity and faith, there won't even be peace. And if there is no peace, there is no progress. So that is it. So as a people, we do not have a choice. It is to recognize that our diversity is uniqueness. It's not a disadvantage at all. It's uniqueness. It is when we're able to cobble it up together that we have those colors. It's a rainbow and it's beautiful.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. Comrade, let's bring the discussion home to Nigeria as a point where we can look from. Is Nigeria really a diverse nation?
Absolutely. With 78 tribes in Adamawa, 88 in Plateau States, 18 in Edo, 27 in Rivers State. I'm talking of tribes. Even in Anambra State, there are still 2 tribes or 3 tribes there. About 8 in Bayelsa. There's not even absolute Ijaw. You can see that we don't have there's no need to even dwell in that. We were created and made in this diversity. The only thing that I feel is threatening it's our greed, intolerance. Greed and intolerance, absolutely, which is now being translated or being used by politicians to create dangers along the lines, testing the other side of the diversity for their selfish interest, using it to mold narrative for their selfish interest against the true essence of diversity. There must be an intersection. Nigeria is like a universal set. It's a union. In the universal set, we have different set and subsets, but there is always an intersection where a particular number will be available across. If you check every other subset in the universal set, you have 4 here, you have 4 here, that 4 become an intersection. There must be an intersection, and that intersection is the love, the tolerance, the strong interpersonal relationship we need to endure into our hearts with passion, with faith, with belief. We already have core values as a country. This is what we want to be. This is where we want to be. How do we do that? We've already had a motto. We just explained our motto right now. Faith, unity, faith, peace and progress. That is the motto. That is the propeller. So with a united front, we begin to look not in those differences, but in the motto. We want to be united. Let's constantly remind ourselves that unity is not negotiable. Peace is not negotiable. Faith, belief is not negotiable. Then, when this fall in place, progress will naturally set in. So when we need to begin to consciously and unconsciously continue to emphasize on these things. There is nothing about, we are fragmented naturally. Whether in our house, we are fragmented. There is no uniformity. Everybody is a peculiar creature. Everybody that is here is peculiarly created. But what is there to marry us is love. There's a common thing in Nigeria today, whether we like it or not, that is common, whether you are rich or poor, or you talk of poverty, hunger. When you give birth to a baby, he cries, you drop water in the mouth. Taste hunger. When a man is dying, he say, give me water. He say, don't give me water. The last, hunger. Have we started thinking about that? That should even cause us a stir in our hearts, that we should unite to fight this cause that is affecting all of us across different creed, religion, tribe, even political ideologies. A man that will cross from here to here tomorrow is telling you that this man is from the Igbo, from the... No, it doesn't count. The essence of unity in diversity as a country in Nigeria, I think was divinely ordained. It was never a mistake. Because then Lord Lugard would have married, talking of a Northern and Southern Protectorate in 1914. In the North alone, in the Angas, in Jos alone, we have more than 78 tribes in Jos, in Plateau State. So are you going to begin to fragment them? In Niger State, we have 44 tribes. So it's not about the polity. It's about we accepting how God has made us. Let's get the best out of it.
Aside from the points of comrade here, what other ways do you look at Nigeria as a diverse nation?
Nigeria is a diverse nation with over 250 tribes, as he has said, and one of the most populous and country in the world. So with that, there should definitely be diversity. There should be different kind of ways of life, different languages, different cultures, different demographic plans. That's where we live and everything. So we don't expect Nigerians not to come together, because we have no choice for us to be that much, and then we think we can break ourselves into pieces. If we break ourselves into pieces, like you say, maybe you have Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa trying to break into parts. In the same state again, or the same area or region, they have different languages again. So are they still going to break into pieces again? So we have no choice but to come together, no matter how diverse we are. Thank
you very much. I can see Sharon is shaking his head in agreement. Yes, with what you want to share something with us. How do you think, Mr. Cham, that we can take advantage of this unity in diversity?
Of course, we can take advantage of our unity in diversity in many ways. We can look at the diversity in our cultures and then promote those same diversities by way of, let's say, the Igbo have a very popular dance called Atilogu, right? Yes. The Hausas have theirs, the Fulanis have, the Yorubas have. Now, when you look at all these...
You didn't mention Comrade.
Exactly. I'm just... We can't mention all. He was one who was saying we are over 250. In fact, some records even have it beyond that. But conservatively, let's leave it at 250. Now, if you have all these 250 groups, each with their most popular food, each with their best dance styles, right? So you can, as a country, come together, harness all these things, package them, promote them as the richness of the country's diversity. and it will sell. Instead of dwelling on, exploiting the differences, I'm sure you will come to that, failed or corrupt politicians and even failed religious leaders exploiting all these differences just to divert our attention from their own failures. So we can push all these things aside, try and see how we can harness all these divergent traditions we have for the betterment of the country and promote them even as tourism. Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Abdullah, the country we find ourselves today is very diverse in a lot of areas. Has that really helped us?
Well, I think it has. And the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that the status of Nigeria in the Community of Nations is definitely as a result of our population and also our strengths coming together. When you talk about the most populous black nation in the world, you're talking about Nigeria. You're not talking about just the Yoruba states. You're not talking about just the Igbo states. You're talking about Nigeria as a whole. That's one. So, and I think the progress that was made in the early years, and I still believe, I'm someone that believes that even in the face of these challenges, we're still making progress. The progress is made as a result of our diverse identities. For instance, if we go back to the early days where we say we have, agriculture was the mainstay of the Nigerian economy. You see, the products or the produce that we're taking are from different areas that come together to now make us very strong as a nation and accelerated the development of Nigeria. Now, if you also look at, now we also have oil as the mainstay of the economy. It's also probably from somewhere, and all of us are benefiting from the proceeds of that product from a particular place. And I just needed to add that tourism is a sector that I believe can even sustain Nigeria as a nation if it is properly harnessed. Every December you hear the Calabar Carnival, you understand, your festival in Lagos, they are different. We have New Yam Festival, although I know that now the security situation does not make it easily possible for us to travel to those places. But if we look more on things that unite us than the things that divide us, then I think we'll be able to make good progress as a nation.
Okay, a lot of people have argued that our diversity has been the bane of our progress, that it has contributed diversity in culture, diversity in religion, diversity in region, and it has been the problem of the development and the progress of the country. How do you think about this?
I will rightly debunk that completely because Nigeria has been on the move to rise because of our unity, because of the various components of people brought from different angles of the people. And people said that when one person urinates, it doesn't usually fall. But when a lot of people comes together to do that, it comes out. And you cannot always have a clean house when you want to sweep with a single stick of a broom. Yeah. It will always work when you have a lot of sticks combined together to make that sweep, and that's when you have a clean house. So I would rightly say that it's never a bane, but it's a strength on us. Mm-hmm. Yesterday I was watching the TV where a lot of foreigners were giving citizens. So that tells you a lot that Nigeria is still on the progress. If we are not on the progress, those foreigners will not want to be part of Nigeria. And it's a success story. Mm-hmm. And I was also watching a video yesterday where our military contingent went to as far away UK to showcase some of our things. In that video, you could see a lot of different cultures, that was used to in that outreach, and that gave it a very colorful approach, and it gave them a lot of applause on that. In that culture that was displayed, it wasn't displayed only for Yorubas. I saw Yoruba culture there, I saw Hausa culture, then I saw Igbo and every other people, and a lot of people stood up and applauded the outing. It wasn't done, then we could say it was Yoruba thing. That thing was done under a country called Nigeria, and it was possible because a whole lot of people, were able to come together to make it happen. So if all of these instances have given, is something to take home, you will definitely see that our strength is in our progress, and it's never been, to our goods.
Well, thank you very much for your opinions, and we want to tell our viewers that this is the Wodi Talk Show, and the topic under discussion is unity in our diversity, and we have been having discussions with very great minds from across different backgrounds here in the country and here in the studio of Wodi in the Federal Capital Territory. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back.
Women, Allah has given us something that is like we can. A woman is supposed to be a binder. The woman is supposed to be a purifier. He, the woman, we must go out to enjoy all. And Master said, women should be carried along. And when I say women, all classes.
Without the woman, you cannot be fruitful. You cannot multiply.
It's everything. It's a refined product.